Hello, it's Trina here, coming to you from Florida at Christmas time. I have a funny story on how I had to get home for Christmas one year. I'll trade these out. Aren't these fun? I brought them just for a laugh. I better put these on so I can see. So, I'm down here, another really cheap trip. Amy suggested at Thanksgiving, she's like, can't beat the prices. Why don't you come down and spend a week? I've got a couple of days off. And so why not? You know, when you're retired, folks, you can do things like this. So anyway, here I am. I love this spot by the lake. One year, I ended up moving to Florida. Long story, and I'm not getting into all the details, maybe in another video. But me and my children moved to Florida. Just me and my children. It was the year that my marriage, we were separated, and I decided to move to Florida in the goodness of everybody involved. And it became Christmas time. And my children yearned to be home for back home for Christmas. They miss their family, they miss their friends, they miss snow and cold, and who would miss that? But children miss snow. So I communicated that to the family back home, and they made their Christmas wish come true. They came and drove to from Indianapolis to Florida, where I was, and picked the children up. And I decided I would just try to get some work, and I'd make some money, and it would be all right. But the mother's heart in me, I didn't want to be separated from my babies either. So after a few days of them being gone, because they were going to be gone for all the Christmas break, which was a couple of weeks, I was like, after that first week, I was like, oh, my heart just yearned for my children. I mean, I was that kind of mother that I just didn't think that was right. So I thought, I'll make the best of it. Make the best of it. And this is just how it has to be. And you know how you talk to yourself. So I was talking in the precious memory of someone, as this video is going to be a story about Ruth Russell. She was our church treasurer. She was a different kind of woman. Never married, never had children. Very stern in her beliefs. Very stern in her opinions. And you was not going to talk her out of anything. And I found out by talking to her, she was going back home. But she didn't. She was scared. She was up in years, and she was scared. She's like, that drive just bothers me. I said, I would like to go home. Maybe I could help you. So we got to talking, and she said, really help me if you could do the driving. And I'll pay for the gas, and you'll be really helping me out. So I said, okay. So I jumped on that trip. So I packed a bag, and she was leaving in the morning, and she had some things she wanted to take care of in Indy, because she used to live in Indy, and she moved up here, and she had some good friends she wanted to go home and see, almost like family to her. So we got on the road, and she let me do the driving. She had a nice car, and she advised me that I needed to drive it a certain way. And I was trying to abide by her wishes, but I was trying to get off that highway as fast as I could, which her driving skills was 5 under the speed limit, so you'd be safe. I didn't get that. I was like, the speed limit is what it is, because you'll be safe if you drive the speed limit. So I was pushing every now and then, and she's like, oh no, you can't do that. I'm like, it's all right, Ruth, it's all right. So we got down the highway a few 100 miles, and it's time to get gas. I know that gas light came on, and I said, Ruth, it's gonna have to be getting late, and I've seen from traveling you get gas before it gets dark, because you don't know where the next gas stop will be. She goes, oh, these prices, we're not stopping until I see something under $1. And folks, the gas wasn't that high. It was like $1.09, $1.08, $1.07. I was like, oh, okay. So you know how far it is between exit to exit. I was like, we are not going to make it. I was like, my faith was low in her ability to gauge where the next 99-cent gas fill up is. And I was not going to be on the side of the road and not see my babies on Christmas. And so as we passed gas station after gas station, I finally said, Ruth, now this one up here says the next exit, there's a billboard on side roads 103. I said, I'm pulling off. You know, gas light's been on, and I'm pulling off. She's like, So I pulled off. And then over on the other side was another gas station. It was 101 or something. She's like, go over there and get that one. That's just how she was. So we filled up, and we headed back out. And I was praying that the next gas station would be at 99 cents so she wouldn't have these problems. But God bless her heart. She became told me her life story on that journey, and how she wanted to have family, and she wanted to have a different kind of outcome of life than what she ended up with, and how she was so happy that she had moved to the Bible college there at Hope Sound, and how she felt like she could be used of God. And I encouraged her in that. I said, yes, being old doesn't mean we're out to pasture. It means we have other opportunities. You're retired. You have other opportunities where other people that have to make a living to provide for small children don't have opportunities that you have. So in the process of time, it got late, and she started to feel sickly. She said, we're going to have to get a hotel. Well, my plans was to drive straight through. I said, are you sure? And she said, yes, I just don't feel like I could keep traveling. I said, okay, well, that wasn't in the plan. She's like, I'll pay for the room. We'll get a nice place. And I already knew what it would be like, because I already seen the gas stations. So we started seeing signs for hotels for like $56. And she's like, oh, I am not paying anything over $50. I'm like, okay, Ruth. So we kept driving, and she kept moaning, and she wasn't feeling good. I said, Ruth, we're gonna have to make a choice here. Are we gonna keep driving? Or are you gonna get a hotel room? What are we gonna do? So we seen one. It was $46. And I can remember numbers very well. It was like 46, 44, something like that. But she was happy with it. So we go, and it was a dump. It was a dump, okay? And she went in there, and she told the person that she wanted to go check out that room before she would give them a dime of her money. Now, I usually just rented a room from a nice hotel and went up to the room, and that was the room I had. I never questioned that you can go see this room before then. So she proceeded to go into 4 rooms before she found one to her liking. One had a smell. One was too far from the elevator. The handicapped bathroom wasn't quite what she wanted. And I didn't know you can do this all, folks, but she taught me a few things on that trip. So we ended up staying the night and getting out the next morning, and we drove it straight through. But she taught me, though, that you can question. You want a certain room, you get a certain room. And I was like, okay. But later in life, as we got home, and I was going to drive me and my children back with, we already had a ride back because they were going back. And I was like, I need to take her home too. So we've worked it out where I could take her home, and it worked out. But to see the faces of my children after 5 days, I had never been away from my children for 5 days, and it was just like that song, I'll be home for Christmas. They didn't know I was coming. It was a surprise, so they all ran and hugged me, and they was happy and everything, and I managed to bring them presents. Now, I didn't have money to buy those presents, but someone there at Hope Sound had them on their heart and gave me a bag of toys to take with me. Well, Christina was too old for toys, but it was nice. And just God provided in a special way for that Christmas. I remember Ruth Russell being just like, I will not pay these prices. She got her way, and it was so funny. But in her memory, she went on a mission trip to Taiwan. On that mission trip, she had to sneak Bibles in. And she said, I rode a bike. When she came back, we had a big meeting. Not a meeting, but a gathering. We sat and chit-chatted about it. She's like, I rode a bike around the community because there wasn't no cars allowed there, and we were sneaking things in. And she told me everything nervously and everything. And she said she was referring back to our talk in that car. She said, well, I'm not retired from doing things for the Lord because I got older. And I thought, if you can encourage somebody to do something, it's amazing. I just seen her blossom. Nothing with me, but words have power, okay? Speak power into people. Speak confidence into people. Because sometimes all people need to know is you can do it. And she went on 2 of those missionary missions. And she had to wear funny clothes, and she didn't like that. And she ended up riding bikes, and she didn't think she could remember to ride bikes. And she told us about the restroom conditions, which was a hole in the ground. She's like, I had never done that. But she blossomed, and she became something for Jesus in her old age. And I just was thinking about that trip home where she would refuse to do anything with a certain amount of money, where I would have done anything to get home. So there's difference in people. There's difference in how you live. But bless her heart, she went on to do something for Jesus. And I'm so glad I can say now I'd never spent one Christmas away from my children. Now that they're older and going their separate ways, we still gather for Christmas Eve, and we don't let anything stop us. Hopefully this year, 2020, everybody can still gather. And if you can't gather virtually. Don't let a Christmas go by. I'm speaking truth in your life positively. We can overcome, we can be strong, and we can get together for Christmas. I'm enjoying this Christmas down in Florida. We're getting ready to go see Christmas lights and a Christmas show tonight. Just love it. So, good talking to you. Be anything you want to be, no matter how old you are, no matter what sex you are. Sometimes women think they can't do a lot of things because they're a woman. If you let a man tell you can't do things all your life, you begin to believe you can't do those things. But let me tell you, women, you can do anything you set your mind to. At any age, you can do anything you set your mind to. Don't let anything limit you. Have the joy of the season and love on your family this Christmas. Merry Christmas. I got home for Christmas.